Moikka moi, it's Riikka Kovasin here, and this time I'm making an art journal spread. This time it's a little bit different because, well, I have a table full of things here, but the main inspiration came from the pile on the upper right corner because those are elements I received in an ATC swap. There's, well, quite long ago, but there's these vintage elements and then this beautiful photo of a princess that I wanted to turn into an art journal spread. I'm starting the page with some collaging. I'm using an A.B.Studio paper as my background, but adding those vintage elements on top. They are just these torn strips I'm adhering on top using double-sided tape, but just to have some more interest to the background. When I'm then done with this phase, I'm adding some gesso on top. As you can see, I covered almost the whole paper with the vintage labels or these pieces, but left some of that background paper to show through. I'm first adding a layer of clear gesso on top of the papers, just sealing the paper because at this stage I'm still not sure what I'm going to add on top, which mediums to use. So I'm going over the whole surface using the clear gesso and then just a hint of white gesso to the middle. I then use a heat tool to dry the layer. Next I'm adding then a rub-on to the page. I've had these ephemera rub-ons for quite a while, and to be honest I actually forget to use them because they are in a separate place. I should get them near the other embellishments so I would use them. But in this occasion, I just add some blooms to the background. I'm putting the pieces on top of the background and then rubbing them a little bit later because, well, there's no point of me showing that to you. I'm inking the edge of the labels and then added the same ink in a watercolor way to the background as well. Next, I'm then adding some stenciling to the background. I'm using this pink ink and creating these leaf or a little bit like feather-like or bloom-like patterns to the background. They are subtle, but they are there. Next, I'm then adding some stamping using black ink and this teeny tiny kind of a newsprint kind of stamp. But I'm also wanting a little bit more contrast here and there, so I'm adding the bigger letters as well. Then I was thinking to add it to my journal at this stage, but as my art journal is quite, well, full already, it's really hard for me to work on it because the other page is almost like vertical at this point. So I'm just keeping them flat on my craft table as such. Then it's time to make the actual composition. I'm using the inked little labels and pieces I've cut out of A.B.Studio papers to make some layers behind that old photo. I'm then using a stapler to adhere the layers together. I'm putting the old photo to the left side and then building a teeny tiny composition to the right hand side. I'm feeling that the background is now kind of lost, especially on the left side, so I cut out these lace-like patterns from the background paper leftovers, ink the edges and then include them to the top layers. I'm using foam tape to mount those to get a little bit of dimension going. Here's the page almost done. I've now actually suspended the right hand side on top of a jar of gesso to get it more like lined with the other page, so they are more like flat even though they are not. I'm then adding some stickers here and there to enhance the vintage feel and add teeny tiny embellishments or like these focal points here and there, interest points. And lastly, I'm then adding some journaling and also some old buttons to kind of bind everything together. I hope you liked the video. If you did, well, you know the drill. Please consider subscribing and hit that bell sign to be notified when a new video comes live. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you within a week. Bye!